It may surprise you to learn that Hong Kong has more skyscrapers than any other city worldwide. However, peaceful monasteries and mountain paths that seem far from civilization may be found just a short train journey away. I didn't anticipate finding tranquility in a city renowned for its craziness when I first traveled to Hong Kong. However, I did. Come along with me as I discover the heart, the serenity, and the highs of this fascinating city. Hong Kong resembles a mix of Singapore and New York, but one who grew up hiking mountains and reading Chinese poetry. The pristine order of Singapore is combined with the bustling metropolitan vitality of Manhattan. However, you can find yourself encircled by beaches, temples, or forests in as little as half an hour. Victoria Peak was one of my first destinations. You can hike one of the trails that wind up from the mid-levels if you're feeling really daring, or you can ride the Peak Tram, a high funicular railway that climbs straight up the slope. The classic vista from the summit features skyscrapers arranged like Lego pieces. The Kowloon Peninsula stretches out beyond Victoria Harbour, which is shimmering in the sunlight. If you can, go around sunset. It's crowded, but you'll see why this vista is featured on every postcard as the city lights start to shine. I then spent a morning exploring marketplaces and secret passageways in Central and Soho. The contrast between upscale fashion boutiques on one street and a wet market nearby that sells live fish and veggies is remarkable. Similar contrasts have been seen in Bangkok and even in some areas of Istanbul, but Hong Kong accomplishes it with a flair reminiscent of a movie. Everything seems deliberate, as if the city is aware that it is being observed. Walking without a plan is one of my favorite things to do when traveling alone. And that's simple in Hong Kong. There seems to be something interesting on every street. Hollywood Road is home to antique stores and art galleries. Chatter and vibrant vendors abound at Graham Street Market. One of the city's oldest temples, Man Mo, emits incense smoke that swirls beneath hanging coils. I took a ferry to Lantau Island when I needed a respite from the concrete jungle. It takes roughly half an hour to get there by ferry from Central, and it's like entering another universe. The Big Buddha, also known as the Tian Tan Buddha, is located in Lantau and is perched on a mountain with a commanding view of the island. It is accessible by cable car, which offers an amazing view as it glides over water and trees. Palin Monastery, a serene location with lovely gardens and vegetarian meals prepared by the monks, is close to the Buddha. There, I had a few hours of peace and quiet, which is uncommon in large cities. That same sense of peace and tradition lingering just beneath the contemporary world made me think of Kyoto, Japan. I explored the Kowloon side, which was closer to the city and had a very different vibe. With its many marketplaces offering anything from footwear to songbirds, Mongkok is a lively and bustling place. Although the ladies' market is well known for its gifts, I much liked the Temple Street night market since it was more affordable, more welcoming, and smelled like curry fish balls and grilled squid. I headed to the West Kowloon Cultural District, which is roughly 10 minutes away from Tsim Sha Tsui by MTR, for something more contemporary. The waterfront park provides a broad perspective of the port, while the M+ Museum features amazing modern art. Locals bring picnics and observe the water's skyline light show on the weekends. One day I went to Macau by ferry. It's about an hour away. Although Macau is frequently likened to Las Vegas, I found it to be similar to a Portuguese fantasy with a dash of Chinese culture. Pastel-colored buildings, old churches, and mosaic-tiled streets. If you want a change of pace, it's a simple day excursion. Just remember to bring your passport because you are technically entering a different region. Sai Kung, sometimes referred to as Hong Kong's back garden, is another fantastic getaway. By MTR and minibus, it takes approximately an hour from Central, but the trip is well worth it. Hiking paths, undiscovered beaches, and seafood eateries near the pier can all be found there. I went with a small boat trip to several of the surrounding islands, which had limestone cliffs, turquoise water, and hardly any people. It was more orderly and cleaner than some areas of southern Thailand. When I returned to the city, I couldn't help but visit a few rooftop bars. Ozone, located on the 118th floor of the Ritz-Carlton, is said to be the highest bar in the world. Yes, drinks can be pricey, but enjoying a martini while seeing the city below is an unforgettable experience. I normally took a leisurely stroll down the Tsim Sha Sui promenade to round off my evenings. A symphony of lights is a nightly light show that features vibrant beams dancing across skyscrapers on both sides of the port. Even if some people think it's touristy, it seemed natural to stand there and enjoy the music and sea breeze. As my journey drew to a close, I discovered that Hong Kong had pleasantly surprised me. I hadn't anticipated the balance, but I had anticipated the excitement, the people, and the shopping. Between towers are the silent temples. The locals would pause to assist me with reading a menu. The city never seems to be in a rush, even though it never sleeps. With a little Tokyo perfection, a little Bangkok charm, and a little London density, you'll recognize pieces of other cities here if you've been to many places, but Hong Kong is still definitely its own. In this metropolis, the East and West dance together rather than merely meeting. It's almost ideal for a lone traveler. It's safe, incredibly photogenic, and full of unexpected delights everywhere you look. You may either spend a lot of money here or you can live simply and still feel like you've experienced something unique. And that gentle hum, the sound of trams, markets, ferries, and voices melting into one, will still be there when you eventually board the plane home. That's the music of Hong Kong. You will never forget it once you hear it. One of the places that lingers long after you go is Hong Kong. Perhaps it's the sight of the skyline sparkling like a promise, the sound of the ferries, or that smell of noodles at night. Even though I came here by myself, I never experienced loneliness. This place has a certain type of atmosphere that combines chaos, friendliness, and curiosity. After 15 days, I was still undecided about which aspect of Hong Kong I preferred, the bustle or the quiet. Perhaps that's what makes it unique. You are not asked to make a decision. It just allows you to feel. I appreciate you coming along on this journey with me. We'll go somewhere entirely different the next time, yet it will still be unforgettable. Until then, keep exploring, wondering, and extending your list of places to visit.